Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Open eCry market commentary for the week of November 19th. My name is Toby Gennaro from Trade with Precision, and just coming to you this week with the outlook for the markets. So as we look at the ES futures here, just taking a look at some of the higher time frames on, say, the monthly chart. I got a couple days here until we're going to be closing out the month after the Thanksgiving holiday, so I actually have a short week this week, about 3 days of trading. I think the markets will be open on Friday as well for a part of the day. But looking at this candle right here for the month of November, and more than likely if we can get a little bit of a rally to hold into the end of the month, we'll be looking for probably an indecisive candle close on this monthly candle right here, which would be very positive. We're pulling back right into the buy zone in and amongst that 10 and 20 period moving average, and plus we have a nice solid support level there that has been a resistance previously right at around 1339, 1340. And so we're getting a nice bounce off that level. The market pulled back down into pretty close, right around that 1345 level, and it looks like we're getting a bounce potentially right back up into the moving averages. But as we move over to the weekly chart, we have a little better long-term view here from this most recent move here all the way up to the most recent high. Now we're getting a pullback right back into that 62% retracement level on the weekly chart. So very positive there for a move upward following the higher time frames. And then as we move down to the daily chart, we can see that off of this reversal pattern we were talking about quite a number of weeks ago, we got quite an extensive move down into that 1335 level. Now we're bouncing right back up into the sell zone on the daily chart, right in amongst that 10 and 20 period moving average. And as you can see, we have a nice level of support that's been there for a while at 1394 that will most likely turn into resistance as we move back up into that level, put us right back into the sell zone on the daily chart. So that would be, if you're looking for a short right there, that would be a counter trend move to the higher time frames. So you want to be aware of that, but more than likely there will be some sell orders accumulating around that 1394 level, since there are a number of things that set up pretty nicely there. You get a solid resistance level setting up right in and amongst that 62% Fibonacci retracement level. So we'll probably see a move back down lower, and we'll probably set up some kind of a reversal pattern here in the coming week or weeks. So that's kind of some of the things that we're looking out for. As you keep looking at these markets, as you move down to some of the lower time frames, you can start to look at the 480 and the 240 charts and start to look for some of those setups. We may get a break higher and then maybe a pullback, and you can possibly look for a reversal pattern right around this level here at 1364. Or if we get a rollover here on some of the lower time frames, we could come back down and retest this 1340, 1345 level. So keep an eye out for some of those levels, but we are going to get more than likely some kind of a consolidation unless we get some fundamental news in the markets related to some of the the financial issues that are going on globally. And then if that's the case and there's some good news that comes out, the market certainly could rally higher. But for right now, the technicals are telling us that we're probably going to get a rally right back into that 62% level, looking at around 1394 for possibly another move lower, and then kind of a consolidation around here to see if we can then get a push off of that and then push higher. Once we break the high of 1394, then we could be, back off to some higher highs. So that's what it looks like for the ES. It's going to be a short week this week on trading, so keep an eye out for that, and keep an eye out for that 1394 level. And taking a look here on some of the small cap stocks on the Russell Index, and looking at the monthly chart, it's looking fairly similar to the ES future. So we're right back, got to pull back right back into the buy zone off of this, the third touch of this flat level here. It's not very precise, but it is a decent flat level, but on a very high time frame like the monthly chart. So again, if we can get a consolidation here, get some kind of an indecisive candle or even a bullish candle here in the buy zone, that'd be very positive on the monthly chart. Going down, looking at the weekly chart, we've got a similar Fibonacci retracement from the most recent low on the weekly chart up to the most recent high. And so we did get a little bit more of a retracement than we did on the ES. So it blew past the 62% level and really went almost into that 76% level, but gave us a nice bullish candle right there. So looking to probably make a move higher. And then we can start to see some of those levels of where we might get a move back into on the Russell Index here. So we're right back into the sell zone then at that 800 level. So you want to be aware of that level. Probably going to be, it's been a fairly solid level of support and resistance going back quite a way. So as we move back up into that level, just looking at the moving averages and the way things are set up on the daily chart, probably going to see some sell orders accumulate there unless we get some kind of fundamental news that says otherwise. But be cautious around that level right there. And then again, very similar to the ES, looking for some kind of a reversal pattern setting up here in order to create a base, down around this 760 level to then launch higher. And then once we can break this 800 level after a reversal pattern, then we'll probably see a move back up into the most recent highs. So that's what things are looking like on the Russell 2000. And as we move down to some of the lower time frames, you can see on the 480, you have all the moving averages rolled over very nicely and just moving right back in to the sell zone again. So by the time we get back up to that 800 level, you'd be somewhere around there looking for a setup candle. So if you are looking for shorts around these levels at 800 to go lower, just make sure you temper that with some of these very bullish signs here on the higher time frames like the monthly, and then basically that 62% retracement on the weekly chart. Take a look here at gold. Obviously, nice trend here on gold on the monthly chart. What I'm looking at right here is this monthly candle getting ready to close out. Very bullish right there if they can hold the highs here into the end of the month here in the next few days. And so we've got the holidays, so there aren't a whole lot of trading days, but basically into next week is what we're looking at. If we can hold that, that's going to be right back in the buy zone on the monthly chart. Could be a very strong indicator there, very bullish sign for gold. On the weekly chart, got the moving average here back into alignment, looking to push higher back into this level right around 1800 would be that next point of resistance. So if we can find some type of a trade setup right here, it looks like around the 740 level, we might start to see maybe a flat level develop there and a little bit of a consolidation to push higher into that 1800 level. So keep an eye out for that setup. As you move down to some of the other time frames like the 240, you can see the extension away from the moving averages and things starting to trend up a little bit. Not a great trend here in the lower time frames, had a little gap there. But looking at just a pullback back into the moving averages, and that would then set us up for a move higher on some of these other time frames, just looking at the way the daily, the weekly, and the monthly are aligned. So overall, in the monthly chart, had a very nice strong move up and just had basically about an 8-9 month pullback back in this level and starting to trickle higher. And as you can see on the weekly chart, just getting a little bit of a pullback off of that level right there, right around 1800. And so looking, if we probably did a Fibonacci retracement, we could probably see that might be a 50% retracement right there. As we put that in there, yeah, we're getting a pullback basically right back to that 50% level and then moving back up off of there into that 1740 level, more than likely looking to push higher. So keep an eye out for some of these charts on gold. Gold looks like it's ready to make a move higher. If we can get a break of that 1740 level, looks like we possibly might make a move back up into that 1800 level. So that'll wrap up the update for this week, November 19th. We'd like to thank you all for watching the Open eCry market commentary for this week, and we do look forward to speaking to you next week on the Market Update.